In this video, we're breaking muscle growth down into 5 levels. Level 1 is so simple anyone can understand it instantly. Level 5 goes deep enough that we'll be talking about what's happening inside the muscle cell itself. And I want you to track something while you watch. As we move up the levels, comment below which level made you pause and think, okay, now we're getting serious. Let's start at ground zero. Level 1. The simple explanation. Muscle grows because your body adapts to stress. That's it. When you lift weights, you create a demand. Your muscles are forced to produce force against resistance. Your body responds by upgrading them. It makes them slightly stronger, slightly thicker, slightly more capable. Why? Because your body's primary goal is survival and efficiency. If you repeatedly expose it to heavy loads, it interprets that as something important. So it prepares for the next time. But here's the key. Muscle is made of protein. So if you don't eat enough protein, your body simply does not have the materials required to rebuild that muscle larger. Training equals sign the signal. Protein equals sign the raw material. If you only train but undereat protein, the signal has no bricks. If you only eat protein but don't train, there's no reason to build. That's muscle growth at its most basic. Level 2. Why? Just lifting stops working. Here's where things get interesting. Let's say today you bench press 135 pounds for 8 reps. And 2 years from now, you're still benching 135 pounds for 8 reps. Why would your chest grow? It wouldn't. Your body already adapted to that level of demand. Muscle growth requires escalation. This is where progressive overload comes in. Progressive overload simply means gradually increasing the demands placed on your muscles over time. It does not mean adding weight recklessly every week. It means adding 5 pounds when ready, adding 1 extra rep, adding 1 extra set, improving control, increasing range of motion, improving execution. Small increases, compounded over time, create massive changes. And this is where patience becomes powerful. Now let's refine nutrition further. For most people, 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or 1.6, 2.2 g per kilogram, is more than enough to maximize muscle growth. More than that won't magically double growth. Less than that may limit recovery. But remember, training drives growth. Nutrition supports it. The stimulus must come first. Level 3. The variables that shape your results. Now we step deeper. It's not enough to say train harder. We need to understand the variables that determine results. These are called acute training variables. Let's simplify them. Effort. How hard you push. If your sets are too easy, muscle growth slows. You do not need to train to absolute failure every set, but most sets should end with only 0. 3 reps left in reserve, meaning you could maybe squeeze out 1 or 2 more reps, but not 5 or 6. Too easy equals sign insufficient tension. Effort is the ignition switch of growth. Volume. How much work you do. Volume is best measured as hard sets per muscle per week. For most lifters, 10, 20 challenging sets per muscle per week works very well. But here's something important. More volume is not always better. There is a threshold. Below it, growth is limited. Above it, recovery suffers. Some lifters grow best at 12 sets. Some thrive at 16. Very few need 25 plus hard sets per muscle weekly. The sweet spot is individual. Load and reps. How heavy you lift. Muscle responds to tension. You can create tension with heavy weight for 3, 5 reps moderate weight for 6, 12 reps lighter weight for 12, 20 plus reps, as long as the sets are challenging. Research consistently shows that hypertrophy occurs across a wide rep range, provided effort is high. However, very low reps can stress joints more. Very high reps can be exhausting and harder to recover from. Most lifters do well making 6, 15 reps their foundation. Exercise selection. What you choose to lift. Compound movements recruit more muscle mass. Squats, presses, rows, deadlifts. They are efficient and scalable. Isolation movements refine specific areas. Curls for biceps. Lateral raises for side delts. Leg curls for hamstrings. There is no mandatory lift. There is only effective application of tension. Your body doesn't know the name of the exercise. It only feels force, frequency. How often you train a muscle. You don't need to hit a muscle daily. You also don't need to wait a full week every time. Most lifters grow very well training each muscle around twice per week. Frequency helps distribute volume more effectively. But frequency alone does not cause growth. Effort and progressive tension do. Level 4. What actually causes muscle to grow? For years, 3 mechanisms were proposed: mechanical tension, muscle damage, metabolic stress. Modern evidence strongly favors one: mechanical tension, muscle damage. Not the goal. Yes, lifting weights causes micro damage. Yes, soreness can follow. But soreness does not equal growth. In fact, excessive damage can impair recovery. Damage may occur, but it is not the primary driver. The pump feels great, but the pump feels incredible. Muscles swell with blood. You look fuller instantly. But more pump does not equal more growth. Short rest periods create more metabolic stress, yet often lead to less hypertrophy compared to longer rest periods. The pump is a sensation. Tension is the stimulus. Mechanical tension, the true driver. Mechanical tension occurs when muscle fibers contract forcefully against resistance. That tension is sensed inside the muscle. That sensing triggers the growth cascade. So practically speaking, your focus should be maximizing high-quality tension over time. That means controlled reps, full range of motion, progressive loading, consistent technique. Not chasing soreness. Not chasing exhaustion. Not chasing random advanced techniques. Chase progressive tension. Level 5. Inside the muscle cell. Now we zoom into the microscopic level. When mechanical tension is created, specialized structures inside muscle fibers detect it. That signal activates a molecule called mTOR. mTOR is a central regulator of growth. Once activated, it tells the cell, start building. The cell begins synthesizing new muscle proteins. This is muscle protein synthesis. Now nutrition enters again. Amino acids, especially leucine, amplify this signal. But here's something critical. Weight training activates mTOR longer and more powerfully than protein alone. Protein enhances. Training initiates. If protein synthesis exceeds protein breakdown over time, net growth occurs. If not, muscle stays the same. It's a balance equation. Stimulus plus recovery plus adequate nutrition equals sign hypertrophy. The big picture. We just moved from lift and eat protein to cellular signaling pathways. But here's the truth. The fundamentals never change. Consistency beats complexity. Progression beats novelty. Effort beats theory. You don't need to obsess over molecules to grow. You need to train hard, progress gradually, recover properly, eat enough protein, stay consistent for years. That's how muscle is built. Expanded iron routine exit hook. Now I want to know something. Which level stretched you the most? Did you stay comfortable at level 1? Or were you fully engaged when we got into cellular signaling? Comment your level below. And if this breakdown helped you understand muscle growth on a deeper level, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow and reach more lifters who want science without the noise. Subscribe if you're serious about building muscle intelligently and sustainably. This is Iron Routine, where we focus on what actually works. I'll see you in the next one.